Test, 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 test. Getting the show on the road. Are we live yet? Just waiting for this to heat up. Okay, we're going. All right. Say, what's up? This is Dave. This is What's Up Dave, my daily stream where I catch up with my friends on the internet. And if you're watching this right now, maybe we're friends. I just saw this TV light up behind me somehow. Mysterious. I didn't know it would even do that. So, anyway, it's Friday, February 2nd. It's about 11:30 a.m. This day is Groundhog Day here in the U.S., and this is the day where I traditionally start my Groundhog Day Resolutions, where I make goals for the remaining of the year. I don't do them on January 1st because, frankly, who's in any shape to make any promises about the year on January 1st? Not me. So I wait till February 2nd because it's one of my favorite holidays, and there's a cool movie about Groundhog Day. And this is my 12th year of doing Groundhog Day Resolutions. But I'm gonna start streaming that process again tomorrow. Yesterday I did a bunch of streams just preparing stuff. So like over here, if I can just work my way around the cat who's sitting here, sitting on all my notes, I guess guarding them, I guess you could say. So, no, that's the cat's butt. It's over here. Over here, next to the cat's butt, are all the notes that I have. Cat, come over here. Come here. He very much looks like a groundhog, doesn't he? So yeah, all these notes that I had printed out during yesterday's streaming sessions. This is like a pack of the goal summaries for every year, so I could like look at them and then write notes about what was on each one. So there's 6.5 hours worth of stuff going on. I forgot to update this thing on the stream. Cat is doing stuff. So shout out to Courtney in the chat room. We were just talking about coffee solutions for on the road. She needs an electric-less coffee routine, and then I guess you heard my coffee grinder going off. So she and Roger and I were talking about it in noisy work. Is this what an Aeropress looks like? This is set up in the inverted mode because I had just put grounds in it. So there's two ways to do it. Usually it's you plunge it, it's upside down, and you put the grinds in and the filter goes on top of it. And fill it with water, and then you plunge it into a mug. However, use the inverted method, which is you put the plunger on the bottom, and that allows you to fill it up with water, and like do more careful, like you have more control over the water and how long it sits. If you do it inverted, then the water kind of drips out a little bit, and I don't like that. And you can also carry it around like this, and then it's convenient. So it's not that big. It plunges up short, and I think it'll be a good solution for you if you're pre-grinding your coffee somewhere else when you have electric power. Some of the other things, you could use a Chemex. Let me go grab that. My sister gave me a Chemex last year for Christmas, and it's gorgeous. Just grabbing it over here real quick. Where are the filters? Here are the filters. And I use this when I have to brew for more than one person. So she gave me a lid this year to cover this up. But this is generally the Chemex. It's a big piece of, I'm assuming, blown glass. Or no, it looks like it's molded. You can see a seam here. There's a little wooden holder thing where it's hot. That thing comes off so you can put it into the dishwasher. Although my sister says you should hand wash it. It does use different filters, though. So these filters are, they look like big square napkins almost. So it's different than the usual, like, circular ones. And then what you do is you just fold them up like this. And you pull one of the leaves out like this. And then you put it in the Chemex. I think it goes like this. And one side of it, you get the, like that. And like this side's thicker, and I think you put it on this side, the side that has like the pouring spout. And then you put the grounds in there, and then you slowly pour over into it. The one disadvantage of this is very slow. It takes a while for it to drip down, but it makes a pretty decent cup of coffee. A lot of people really like these. Generally, I'm using the Aeropress because I have my coffee setup is set up to go really fast. It goes faster than using one of those Keurig things because I have set it up for. I was going to see if I can. I don't. Unfortunately, the camera is set up so I can't roam with it. But I have an electric water heater, which keeps the temperature of the water at 195 degrees. A little bit suboptimal, but good enough for Aeropress stuff. I have an electric grinder, and so I throw 2 scoops of beans in the grinder, grind it, throw it into the Aeropress, and then put the whole thing underneath the electric water heater, one of those Japanese ones. And in like under 2 minutes, I have coffee, and it's coffee that doesn't suck. So, but this takes like I think about 15 or 30 minutes, depending on how much coffee you're making, because the pour over part just takes a long time because it very slowly drips down. But it makes a good cup of coffee, and it's a nice, I guess, entertaining cup of coffee. So you can make a big pot of coffee, and then people can enjoy it, and it's decent coffee. So, and it looks great. So that's pretty wonderful. What else is going on today? What did I just knock down on the floor? This is shit all over the place. My PlayStation 2 controller, I set my PlayStation 2 up again. And I loaned it to someone, and they wrapped the cord so it warped. Thanks. Note to people, don't loan your game systems out to people who don't deserve them. Terrible, as my sister would say. I forgot to put this back. What else is going on today for today's What's Up Day? We are 6 minutes in. I need to finish this off quickly. Let me take a look at my list of things. So I was going to talk about, oh yes, the GoPro. I talked about GHDR. I'll be doing that at stream at noon. Yesterday we were looking at the OTTO, which came in. So Sumo Lounge sent me one of these. And I've been waiting for it to puff up. And I had set up this GoPro over here to do a time lapse of it expanding. This was like Dom's idea, if he suggested it yesterday. Unfortunately, I'd forgotten how bad the battery life is on GoPros. I thought, hey, I was just taking an interval shot every minute or so. Like, that shouldn't use a lot of power, right? No, the battery use of these GoPros are terrible. I don't know why. The battery in it's tiny, and I guess it lasts for about 2 or 3 hours before it dies. So one thing I was going to do is just look at it. I'm just noticing how bad my complexion is. I've been like having these problems breaking out again. Probably because I'm eating terribly. So I'm going to pull this thing out of the GoPro. If I can remember how to do it. This pinches in and pushes out. So let's look at this thing. I did capture something, but I think next time I try to do something like this, I need to actually open it. Okay. I have to plug it into some sort of power thing, which I have someplace, but didn't do it this time. Let's get this camera over here. Let's see. Let's try the other camera. This is upside down, but I don't know if maybe it's better than nothing. Switch. Okay. So I think this pushes out. The GoPro design is really minimal. In a way, it's kind of clever, but it's also really aggravating. So, for example, how do you open this? It's clever once you know it. You push this down and it slides. Well, there's no markings on it to tell you how to open it. And then over here you have the ports and stuff like this. So one of these is a USB-C power port, and the other one is some sort of transfer thing. I think this whole thing can come off, because so you can run it without this in place. And yep. So yeah, it just slides out. Yeah, this just clips on. No indication anywhere. I don't think there's even documentation on the website on how this works. So I'd have to take up this thing and probably lose it. How do you put it back in? It's kind of an interesting design. So I would have plug this into power to make that work. So I need to recharge this thing actually. and then I can just put this back in. So next time I'll know better. So no time lapse for us today. It may have captured a little bit, but I had to get the stuff off the GoPro and figure out how to see that video. Don't have time to do it today, but we'll do it sometime. Put this back over here, switch back to cam 1. And what else has been on my mind? This thing won't go back in now. Oh, it was the wrong side. What else has been on my mind? Let's see. Look at my notes. GoPro Mysteries. GHD. The auto progress. I mean, it's kind of fluffy. One last thing is egg poaching. Let's switch the screen here. So who was it? I think it was Strudel and Vicky in the chat room who were teaching me how to poach an egg, and I really goofed it up the first couple of times. So I finally watched some videos to get an idea what was supposed to happen, and now would this happen? That's weird. So there is a blurry view of an egg that's poaching correctly. It's not exploding all over the pan. It even came out looking like a poached egg, all nice and shiny, and I put it on toast and sprinkled some pepper on it, and so it looks realistically like a piece of something that you'd eat. This was just a picture of my cat, looking really weird. He's much bigger looking than that. And these are some of the Groundhog Day Resolutions notes that I did yesterday. I did that for some social media posts today. And you saw the hat that was showing off the other day. That's a chicken pot pie I made. That's a close-up of a system view of how I think Groundhog Day Resolutions relates to all my various goals on the bottom. And there's a sort of vague notion that there's a happiness formula that I try to feed everything into at the top. That things are produced and go into that. The Groundhog Day Resolution side of thing, I realize, are really my mindful doing side of things, the purposeful progress. But most of the time I'm doing unfocused work, and just things happen, but they also contribute into the happiness formula somehow. So I'm going to try to work that into this year's Groundhog Day Resolutions goals. And Courtney's popped into the stream room. Hey, Courtney. Did you see the Chemex and the my mind is blanking. Aeropress. Oh, there's some ribs that I took a picture of. I think that's today's stream.
Watch a recording later. Trying to get things done. I will watch it.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. Let's switch back to what I was looking at. One thing I was going to look at was there's this Rainbow Six player named Bolo who is has incredible reflexes. And I've been watching it kind of astonished that people could be this good at that. I suppose if I'd watch Counter-Strike matches, then I would have a better sense of it. But I won't do this today, though. This gives wait till Monday. Because we're at the 15-minute mark, and I'm trying to keep these things short and focused. So I am going to prepare for my noon Groundhog Day Resolutions stream, and I'm going to try to pull everything together. I'm going to put my contact lenses in so my eyes don't hurt. I'm going to break out my last can of Moxie. Going to make this coffee, and hopefully be able to knock this thing out in under 4 hours. That would be great. It takes a long time for me to make the Groundhog Day Resolutions. But for the first time, we'll have a visual record of the process. So that's exciting. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on Monday. Have a good weekend.